Welcome to AlphaCars Service Center. Today we're talking about G-Class repair, in particular a very common repair that pretty much all G-Classes need, apart from maybe the ones that are only driven on sunny days in California. This is a 2015 G550, and take a look at this exhaust flange. Look at how rusted that is. The bolts are almost non-existent that hold it together. This will soon start separating, start leaking, and making a bunch of noise. And if you take this vehicle to the dealer, to the Mercedes dealer, they're gonna quote out replacing this whole exhaust system. So the exhaust system on this G-Class consists of the exhaust headers, which are just up there. You can't really see them, but then they connect to this mid pipe right here with the catalytic converter in it. And then this pipe via this flange that is very rusted out connects to the rear muffler. And that's where the exhaust ends on the G-Class. Then there's just a couple downturns right there. So like I said, if you had this problem, you went to Mercedes, they would say, you need a new rear muffler section, you need the new catalytic converter mid-pipe section. That's gonna be thousands and thousands of dollars to replace all of that just because this flange is rusting out. Why does it rust out? Well, Mercedes did a great job at using some high quality stainless steel in the rest of the exhaust system. We can see how clean this pipe is. We can see how clean the muffler is there. But on the flange and the bolts they use, that's all standard steel that gets attacked very easily by the road salt, by the elements. Even just driving the vehicle in the rain, these will start to rust even if you're in maybe a nicer climate. So now talking about what we do to repair them and save you thousands and thousands of dollars, we first off remove the muffler section, as we can see here. And to do that, we just cut the mounting bolts because there's really no bolt left to work with. Let's take a look at this muffler section off the car on the little workbench here. This is the other side of that flange. The technician has just started to clean it a little bit, but this is just in the very early stages of work. And look at the bolt, the end of the bolt there. Look at how thin this is right there where I'm pointing. It is just like a toothpick. And keep in mind, this is what the bolts should look like. We have some new hardware over here along with a new exhaust gasket. I will show you that more closely in a few minutes here. But let me grab the new bolt and look at the difference in size. Look at how the rust has just attacked the old one there. So you literally, we cut them off, and now what the technician is gonna do is he's gonna heat this area up, punch out the old bolts, and then clean up the holes because the rust, they're really rusted in there, so he gets a drill bit of the proper size and just cleans the holes to then prepare it for the new hardware. And this is the old exhaust gasket. So this was kind of in here like this. We can see the exhaust gasket was really compromised. It fell apart when removing it. And this is the new exhaust gasket. So this would go in here, and then this end will insert into the other part of the system. And then via tightening those bolts, it sandwiches and compresses on this mating surface on both sides and then sealing your exhaust. So once the bolts get thin enough, they will snap. These sections will detach, hopefully not while you're driving the vehicle, and then you've got a big exhaust leak. And like I said, if you do go to Mercedes dealer, they're not gonna repair this flange. They're not gonna come up with this solution. They're gonna say the solution is a whole new exhaust system. So now let's take one more look at the flange on the car. So once again, while this pipe is on the vehicle, he will punch these old studs out, or the old bolts out rather. He will clean the mating surface. And let me get a better angle for you here. And just generally clean up the flange, make it look very presentable. And even take a look at what the head of these bolts look like. You're not getting a wrench on there. If you put a wrench on there, it's gonna be very round, very fast. And because of the rust anyways, really the only way is to cut these off. So this is the solution that we have been doing for years on the G-Class vehicles. And like I said, pretty much any G-Class we get in our shop and that we haven't done this repair on, they usually they usually need it. This vehicle was in for a rust preventative treatment on the undercarriage, as well as a rust evaluation elsewhere, and some new tires, some other mechanical things. And of course, in our evaluation, we immediately noticed how bad these exhaust flanges were. Here's some bonus footage while the technician is currently working on the vehicle. So on the muffler, we have off of it, this is actually the other side, and we can see he has punched out, he actually heats each side of this up, each corner, and then punches out with a air hammer the old studs. And he's currently doing it on the vehicle side. You can see he's heating up that leftmost corner there. And let's take a peek while he does that at the this side. We can see the flange is resecured. We can see the fresh gasket in between with the new hardware there. And now that he has that nice and red hot, he's gonna get the air hammer and punch that stud right out. And there it is, still smoking hot. And now with all three of those old studs punched out, now he can start the reassembly. He did have a big clamping plier on the exhaust pipe because this flange is now loose. We can see it's actually at a slight angle there. So it kind of moves around. So he had that there to hold it. And I will note, look at all the rust on the ground. We've swept up a lot of it here. And we can see all this all used to be exhaust flange and bolts, and we can see what it is now. It's doing no good. So now with the fresh gasket and hardware, that has really solved this problem in a cost-effective manner. And just like that, thanks to the magic of video editing, the floor has been swept clean and the mufflers are back on the G-Class. We're all done here, we're all complete. Let me get my light out and let's take a look. We can see there's no more heavy scaling rust on the flanges. They've been cleaned. They've got the fresh stainless steel hardware with the copper nuts, and then the new gasket in there, new sealing surface. Everything is sealed up very nicely. We can see the nice flush, even sealing surface along the whole gasket there. And now this G-Class is gonna have a leak-free exhaust for many years to come. And we saved our client thousands and literally thousands and thousands of dollars compared to if the Mercedes dealer was gonna replace all of that exhaust system over those corroded flanges there. So this video has just been kind of a quick inside look at what we do to complete this repair, and just letting you know that we do specialize in these vehicles. We have for many years, so we have lots of repair plans to save you considerable cost with some of the common repairs found on the G-Class. So I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative. Send us an email, service@alphacars.com, or give us a call, 978-263-9000, if you're interested in having us work on your G-Class vehicle or other European vehicle. It doesn't just have to be a G-Class, of course. This one is actually from Ohio. We have lots of clients that bring their Mercedes to us from out of state, even across the country, like in this case, because they just really want the vehicle in the best hands with the best results possible. So this has been Ian reporting from our Boxborough Service Center. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe so then you don't miss out on the latest Mercedes content.